Ladies, gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Please be advised that this movie has no nudity.
I'm out.
Come on, Eddie. Let's go to the movies.
Yeah.
I just have to wee-wee.
And we're back.
Just like the Five Musketeers.
What the hell am I looking at?
A country where culture means pornography and slasher films.
If you had these boobs, you'd be obsessed with them too.
Very exciting, big event. Everybody's excited, huh?
Last time I went to the pictures, I was looking at all the jiglins. And...
We hope you'll make this a weekly visit. Bring the family. Bring your friends.
She looked more like a beauty queen on a midnight scene.
Shh. Why is it every podcast we have Roman singing?
I don't know. It makes for good stuff.
Are we ready to talk about
Yes, we're
this
ready.
stuff?
Let's go.
You know what? Let's so anyways, and
let's talk about Tron.
And I said,
you sound so
Legacy.
excited over that.
I said bitter. I just met her.
Hey everybody. Welcome to the Cinemadness podcast. I am Adam. I am here with Allison.
Hi.
And always Roman.
I'm feeling digital.
But not always me?
Oh, well, always.
There you go.
All right.
I can say 30% of the time I'm me every time.
That doesn't make any sense.
Math.
It does if you made sense like me.
Well, we are on our third season.
Oh my heavens, Nancy.
And it's our third change to the show.
That might be bad.
It might be bad. It might be good.
Or 3 times a charm.
That's right. Or 3 times a lady.
Or 3 strikes, you're out.
Or 3 is the magic number.
I could wear a fake mustache.
What does that have to do with 3?
It has absolutely nothing to do with 3.
Alrighty then.
Thank you for joining us on WTS3.
Yeah.
All right, so we are going to jump into this because we have a lot to talk about because I am excited to do this episode because we are doing 1982's Tron, and you know how I feel about 1982.
Ladies and gentlemen, he's so excited that the table's lifting up 2 inches.
I have a Tron boner. I have a Troner.
Ew.
Is it digitally enhanced?
Oh, it is. It's full CGI. I'm a full CGI right now.
I know. I was tripping over when I was getting some water.
Yeah.
3 times the length. There you go. Now I'm adding the 3. There you go.
And doing research for this show, I went through a lot of sources. There's quite a few documentaries on the Blu-ray, including Visualizing Tron, Installing the Cast, The Tron Phenomenon, and The Making of Tron.
Is that like the funk phenomenon?
It is like the funk phenomenon.
Do you remember that song?
I do not remember that song.
Of course not. Do you remember that? The funk phenomenon? The funk
like
phenomenon?
I'm thinking of LL Cool J, sorry.
I don't think I made that up, but whatever.
Anyway, also we are doing also the book, The Making of Tron by William Dale?
By Pitbull?
By Pitbull.
Yeah.
Welcome to Music Madness, when we're talking about Tron, the soundtrack only.
Boy. No. So, with the movie, the documentary, would it be basically technically Trauma? No, Trauma? No, I'm...
Trauma.
Yeah,
Trauma. You guys with that, putting that A in Trauma.
I think because it's brought me trauma in my past.
Hey, listen,
so I just think it's trauma. Dale. So we're back to Pitbull.
Well, we are in Florida.
Well, Salvador, darling.
We are three random people, and nobody's going to get that joke.
Not yet.
No.
Not at all, because we changed the word random.
We did.
Yeah.
We're ordinary.
We're ordinary, but we are from Florida.
We are.
So Tron, the tagline, the great tagline. There were many taglines, but I only put one in. I only put the American one in because the rest were a little
German?
a little too French.
Tron.
Yeah. He doesn't speak Japanese too well.
Why does a movie have multiple taglines, first of all?
Well, when you hit the right spot, you have multiple taglines. That's pretty much how it works.
It's all based on the translation. Some languages just don't have certain words for things, so they have to restructure.
Yeah, no, I got that. I thought you meant that they made multiple just in case one didn't work out.
Like Captain Supermarket.
Well, that's a title. That's not a tagline. Anyways. But yeah, it's the same thing. It's lost in translation, basically.
All right, so you're going to
Roman's favorite game, that I like too.
You're going to give us the American version.
The U.S. tagline is "A world inside the computer, where man has never been, never before now."
Inside the computer?
Inside the mother computer.
You mean like reboot?
Files are inside the computer?
That's right. This is that scene from Zoolander.
Zoolander.
Stretched into an entire movie.
Oh my god, it just...
25 years before Zoolander came out.
Now I kind of want to watch Zoolander in Tron. I think that would be fantastic.
That's right. It's a shared universe we didn't even know about.
Oh,
it's the
man.
It's the TCZU.
So Mugatu is really the MCU. MC, what is the guy's
P.
name? MCG.
P.
MCP. McP.
Oh,
Nick P's now streaming.
That changes my past a lot. So Tron is the story of a man who just wanted to find proof of ownership that these video games that he programmed, and he gets zapped into the computer world, and he gets unintentionally fallen into a quest filled with programs, Tron, Ram, and Yori to free the computer world from the tyranny of the Master Control Program, also known as McP.
Yeah, I didn't realize it until I was rewatching it for the show that Grandma's Boy kind of ripped off the premise a little bit.
They did a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's 1982, so I mean there's probably a lot of movies after that has done that. I mean, you said Reboot. Reboot was a TV show, but
I loved Reboot.
I did too, especially when they went into the future. That was great. Yeah. Did you ever watch Reboot, Allison?
I don't know what that is.
It was a CG cartoon in the early 90s.
Yeah, it lost me at cartoon.
Oh, man.
Oh, I gotta tell you a funny story at work, speaking of computers. I was trying to free up some time as I was working. I go, my computer's hungry. And the customer goes, how do you know? I go, because it's looking for some new bytes.
I was going to say it was running out of bytes. So
yeah, there you go.
I was right on there with you.
There you go.
It was directed by Steven Lisberger.
Das Lisberger.
Hi, welcome to the movie. I'm Tron. Das Tron!
Oh, it
must be animated!
German Tron. I am Steven Lisberger. I will direct this movie before you.
I have stolen your idea.
You sounded like a Muppet.
Well, I was going for Peter Sellers from Dr. Strangelove.
Oh.
Mein Führer! I can walk!
That's one of my dad's favorite movies, and I never got it.
One of Stanley Kubrick's best movies.
Stanley
Kubrick.
Yeah.
Lisberger this was his first movie. Before this, he only did cartoons and commercials, mostly known for those animated Animal Olympics shorts.
Olympics. Do you remember that, Roman?
I do. Oh,
No.
I'm not
You're
Roman.
not Roman.
No, he's not. He's better looking. No, I do not remember that. Actually.
Okay, all I remember of that is like a camel and like a onesie, like a runner's onesie.
I think you're thinking of the goat.
No, I'm not, because I looked up Animal Olympics.
Oh, okay.
And there's a picture of a camel or a moose or a kangaroo or something with a track running onesie.
Okay.
I don't even know what that is that you just said.
A goat?
Drugs.
You don't know what a goat is?
No, I know what a goat is. Are
Tom
you
Brady?
saying that...
I'm saying that you might have thought the goat was a camel, but you looked it up, so I am wrong and you are right.
No, it might have been a goat, but it looked like a camel.
Okay, well, this has been Goat or Camel on the Cinemadness podcast.
I mean, that's a pretty big movie to start off, I guess.
Right.
All
That's
right.
the thing. It's super ambitious.
So, for those of you who are listening to the podcast, go ahead and take a moment to Google Animal Olympics like I am.
Do you see the goat camel?
I know
Or
the goat.
the-
I know the goat is gray.
The gamel. Oh, then I'm thinking of a brown, because my thing was brown.
Yeah, it was.
Shut up.
That has horns.
Oh, there's the goat.
Yeah.
This looks like a camel to me.
I think that's a kangaroo.
Yeah, I thought kangaroo.
But you did say kangaroo.
I did say kangaroo. There's a bunch of animals. Well,
Yeah, it's the Animal Olympics.
okay, got it. All right. Well, I have no interest in seeing that. So
I just remembered a lot when I was a kid because it came out. It came out in '79, I think, for the 1980 Olympics, and that's all he did before this. And let's we'll get into how he got it and everything.
So I'm just curious, did Leesberger get frustrated with Jeff Bridges and go, damn it, I can do it with a camel?
He might have. No, actually, there was a lot of good vibes on the set. Lisberger was
vibes.
That's right. You would have liked him. He kept the good vibes going.
Right.
Lisberger was basically the dude.
Oh, so Jeff Bridges.
Jeff ripped that off.
He probably did. I never even thought of that. He was very California, very laid back. Even though he was driven because he didn't have a license.
Because he's German?
No, it was driven. It was a dad joke for Roman.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
It just wasn't funny.
He was. Wow, man, yeah, he.
And that's where I get cut off, folks.
In fact, after he did Tron, I don't think he did a movie after this. Not because of how it was reacted to or anything. I just think he overworked himself because this was a big movie to make. And now what's ironic is he lives basically off the grid and also unironically off the grid, and he does woodworking.
Lame.
So he's the old guy who plays with his wood all day.
Yes,
He whittles.
He has a yurt.
A yurt.
A yurt.
Yeah,
Schborgenforgen.
But he does have fond memories of Tron. It's not like he finished it and was like, I'm done with this movie. In fact, one of the documentaries was his son getting invited to the Disney archives, and him and Steve went through it, and they went back and looked at everything that was photographed for the first time in like 30 years, 40 years, and it was really cool. But this is Steve Lisberger. The movie stars Jeff Bridges and Bruce Boxleitner as the titular Tron, but it also has Cindy Morgan and the great character villain actor David Warner.
Jeff Bridges was hot in this movie.
He had the hair.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah.
I must have watched the wrong movie.
No, Jeff Bridges was really attractive.
No, my movie didn't have any titulars in it.
You got Cindy's titulars.
Well, let's go ahead and just
in a
skip
deleted
to Tron,
scene.
Tron Legacy.
Let's not.
No.
Well, yeah, we need to later.
Do we really?
I'm gonna.
I'm for it. I love Tron Legacy, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about 1982. Before I get into the synopsis of the movie, I want to go over some terms that people might not understand. So,
like
does my lawyer need to be
Leesberger.
present?
Terms and conditions, maybe, but these are just terms. This is the Tron glossary or Troslery.
No.
Mm-mm. There's not a lot of things you can use with Tron. Tron glossary. Anyway, the term user is the people in the human world. They were given. This is the name given by the programs, who are the people in the computer world, as basically like deities. Like, do you believe in the user? Or, my user brought me. Oh, you believe in users? That kind of thing. Programs, like I said, are the people in the computer world. These are actual programs in human form. Like Tron. Tron is a security program. RAM is an actuarial program. He does his taxes. And that makes them mundane, but that makes them also, relatable at the same time, because they're still just working stiffs.
So like Herman's Head.
Kind of like Herman's Head, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or for those of you who don't know who Herman's Head is, or what movie or what show Herman's Head is, it's basically Inside Out before Inside Out.
It was Inside Out on Fox.
Mm-hmm.
And the last term that gets used a lot is Rerez, which just means the death of a program. Not to be confused with Rerez, who I talked to later on in the show.
Wicca.
Wicca, indeed.
That was a tease, folks.
I don't like the word derez. I don't
Derez?
know why.
As in de-resolution?
Yeah, I don't like it.
You gotta remember, guys, I played a lot of sports, so like I'm just expecting some Latin kid, who's like
Rerez, get your ass over here!
Yeah, seriously, Dennis Ramirez, come here.
Derez.
They call me Rerez.
Yeah. I am 7 No, you meant to say 17. No, I'm not 25. No, you're 17. Yes, I am 7.
Football is life.
Aw, I get that now.
That's right. She's caught up.
Yes, she is. Oh my heavens.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you've not watched Ted Lasso, this is
Oh
not
my
this is not a sponsored thing from Apple Plus, but Ted Lasso is the greatest character that has graced our television screens in the last 20 years.
Now, can you imagine Ted Lasso in Tron?
I can imagine Ted Lasso in Tron.
Oh my God, they would derez him because he would just talk their ear off.
You know what? I know a good-looking guy who would talk his ear off and be really, really receptive and have good friends who lets him on the podcast. Okay, I know a good guy like that.
Who is really, really good looking.
Ridiculously good looking. But no, so Ted Lasso would probably be derez according to Allison. So what would be a good other points in Tron, by the way, Adam, as I'm trying to push back to you.
Other points. I don't know what we're talking about. I'm just going to go right into this.
Thank you. Sorry, man.
All right, we are moving into let's get into the meat of Tron. Let's get into Tron's meat
and potatoes.
The old meat and 2 veg. All right. Well, the movie begins with Kevin Flynn, played by Jeff Bridges.
So he's Irish.
So we're talking
Kevin Flynn.
Are we talking about the movie Blown Away now?
Why?
You know, that wasn't a half bad movie.
It wasn't.
It wasn't the greatest movie.
Tommy Lee Jones.
But what does it have to do with Kevin or Flynn?
Because he's Irish.
Jeff Bridges plays an Irish firefighter.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I don't remember that movie.
Oh,
but yeah, top of the morning to you. I'm Kevin Flynn.
Kevin Flynn. You know, it's funny you say that because they shot this movie on Disney Studio Lot 4, which was where they shot Darby O'Gill and the Little People. Yeah.
Jen loves that movie, and I hated it.
For context, that's her best friend, Jen.
Leprechauns scare me. Okay, anyways, go.
I'm the leprechaun.
Yeah, keep going.
Kevin Flynn is hacking the NCOM mainframe, looking for evidence that he programmed some very popular video games that NCOM is making money on without giving him his cut.
Bastard.
Yes.
Lots of kids playing with themselves.
This new security program in the mainframe, the Master Control Program, or MCP, or McP, caught Flynn's program Clue.
More Irish.
Wait, pause. When I hear McP, what was Meatwad's character where he
MCP pants.
That's what I'm going to call this.
See, now I'm just thinking McDowell's right now.
The Big Mick.
Exactly.
Oh, rest in peace, Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Man, it lives on on HBO Max.
Yeah, but what's with the goat's blood?
The goat's blood?
Yeah, Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Yeah. Was that the Danzig episode?
Yeah.
My favorite episode of all time.
All right, sorry, McP.
Mine is the one scrawled across Allison's tits right now.
Don't say that word.
Titular?
Scrawled across.
The Foreigner episode with the Foreigner belt.
The Jukebox Hero one? Yeah, okay.
You're a jukebox hero. You have stars in your eyes. Oh my God!
Right.
You're hot-blooded.
Every single time I check into a hotel room, no matter where it is, it seems like after 1 o'clock, I somehow find Aqua Teen Hunger Force. No matter where I'm at. Costa Rica, Mexico, Puerto Rico, Utah.
Just remember, dancing is forbidden.
Seriously?
Dancing is forbidden.
Yes, I know. We appeared in the gym and we had a nice little line dance suddenly out of nowhere. Everyone was synchronized, so it was great. It was almost like we were in a program, though.
Welcome back to talking about Aqua Teen Hunger Force with Cinemadness crew.
Sorry. I'll just call him McP.
Yes.
Go ahead, McP.
McP caught Flynn's program Clue.
Clue?
Clue.
What does Clue stand for?
CLU. I don't know what it stands for. But he was resurrected in Tron Legacy.
I know he was.
Yeah. Because he wasn't derez, he was absorbed into the MCP system.
We got a raging Clue, and he was resurrected.
He was absorbed in McP's system.
Oh my God!
We just
this was a bad idea.
You wanted this, you take it.
It's true. It's true. This is our new format. Love it or hate it. Well, that's actually the only two things you can do. Either love it or hate it. Meanwhile, the MCP is getting ambitious and showing off signs of wanting to control all computer systems all over the world. Okay. The president of the company, Dillinger, played by David Warner, seems wary, but is then blackmailed into complying. The MCP threatens to let the video game files go public to show that he's been stealing them. So Dillinger is at the mercy
of
McP of MCP pants.
I think we should just do a remake of Tron, but have basically the rappers from Robin Hood Men in Tights talk about the film.
Man, after watching that movie just recently, you're just all about Men in Tights. Huh?
I really am. I really
about
am.
those Men in Tights.
Yeah, I really am. You know what?
All about Carrie Elwes.
I said hey. I said hey.
I said hey nani nani, hey nani nani,
And a
hey
Mick-
nani
Mick
nani,
P.
and an MCP.
Yeah. Check it out.
That might be okay.
Yeah.
So, Flynn calls in a favor from his ex, Laura, played by Cindy Morgan. After she catches him, I didn't even put this here. She catches his program clue and recognizes that it's him. So she finds him and agrees to help him break into NCOM, where she works. And they sneak in to physically access the mainframe because he's been trying to hack in from his apartment above Flynn's arcade that he runs, hence the name Flynn. Yes, and the MCP catches on, or the McP catches on, as Flynn sits at the terminal, and he fires this gigantic laser that's facing the terminal for some reason. And he digitally scans him into the computer world.
All I want is a frickin' laser to put me into the frickin' game.
Why would you have a laser pointed at a game in the terminal?
It's not a game. It's a terminal.
Well, because clearly Stan Skolinski was trying to shrink everybody.
That's not what his name was.
No,
Zelensky. I just watched that recently, so.
Okay.
Honey, I scanned the Flynn.
No skin off my Flynn.
Was this the scene where there was like this giant door and he opens it? It opens really slowly and he goes, "That's a big door."
Yeah.
Okay. They did that same scene, and I know we're going to talk about Tron Legacy later, but they did a lot of scenes exactly like the original with in the second one. I remember that scene. He's like, "That's a big door."
Yeah, and I fanboy freaked out when he said that. I was like,
"Of course
you
did."
Funny story about that too, and I didn't put this in my notes. Cindy Morgan, when they were shooting that scene, they were shooting it at a live. It was a real laser bay. It was that gigantic laser was real, not the one they fired at him because that would just fry him. But it was a laser bay, and there was only certain areas where they could walk and stand because there was radioactive material everywhere. And Sidney Morgan didn't see one of the warnings and stepped out, and they're like, everyone that worked there's like, "Stop where you are. You're about to be irradiated."
Oh, hell no.
Oh, shit.
And that kind of was like, okay, well, I'll do what you ask.
That would not get past the union these days. Oh boy.
Upon entering the computer world, Flynn is thrust into a totalitarian world ruled by McP, and is forced by his General Sark, this time played by David Warner, because everyone's changed their characters now because they're in the computer world.
Ah. So now Flynn is Clue.
No, Flynn is Flynn. We'll get into that.
Flynn is Flynn. Sark used to be Dillinger.
Yes.
And who's Cindy?
Cindy is Yori.
Oh, that's right, Yori.
And his friend Alan
is Ram.
Is Tron.
Tron, that's right.
Ram is not a real character. I mean, he's barely in the real world. He only has one line. Is when Alan has to go see Dillinger. He walks out and the guy who plays Ram is like, "Do you think I could have some of your popcorn?"
Seriously?
And that was it. Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of sad.
So when does LeBron come in, and when does he get shrunk to fight the Monstars?
In 2021, in a horrible sequel. All right. The MCP is forcing every program it can find to participate in a series of computer games to the death, or to the Rerez.
Oh yeah.
In his cell, he meets the program Ram, played by Dan Shore. The only other notable role he's ever played is Billy the Kid in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. He is a tax program, like I mentioned before, who is a veteran of the games, and he's a bit cocky because he's good at it. He's also very religious when it comes to users and stuff. So, he talked about it in the interview. How he said, because he's an actuarial program, he would be easy to be brought into a type of thing. So he kind of worships Tron and the user.
Fun bit of trivia. Ram actually found his job very troubling. In fact, he found it very taxing.
Womp womp.
There we go.
Please continue.
That's one. I think. I don't know.
No.
Are we keeping track now?
Please don't. Please don't.
So Ram was taken under the wing of Tron, played by Bruce Boxleitner, who was Alan in the real world.
Boxleitner. It's just a badass name.
Bruce Boxleitner.
What if that was his real name?
That sounds like a poor name.
It does.
Yeah.
He enlightens boxes.
Boxleitner in Tron Legacy.
And Tron is the badass of the games. He is the champion. He is unbeatable.
He's basically the Hulk in Hulk or Thor Ragnarok, kind of, sort of.
Yeah, but he's always like throwing shade at Sark when he's watching and that kind of stuff. He's very
Marcus Aurelius Maximus. Are you not?
Sure. Yeah. Are you not entertained? Type of thing.
Oh yeah.
Because he plays for the users, and that drives Sark crazy because
he shouldn't be, right?
He shouldn't be, and he doesn't want people believing in the users.
Right,
he wants people
right.
believing in the MCP is going to take over.
Right, because if he's playing for the users, that means the users are going to win more.
Well,
right?
he doesn't want this religion, quote unquote, of the users to be taken over. He wants the MCP to he works for the MCP, who's basically a totalitarian leader who's saying there is no other god. I am your god. And the users are like the resistance type of believers.
So he doesn't want to enable the users. Okay, gotcha.
Enable users. He doesn't want to click the box.
Boxleitner does.
Boxleitner likes clicking boxes.
Yes, yes.
So Tron, Flynn, and Ram compete in games, including this one game where they use a highlight hook with a ball.
I found that to be weird. I mean, because
that's what you found weird. Just that.
Well, I don't know. I didn't remember that game because you always just see the disc game, like the frisbees, and that's what they did in the second one, which obviously I'm way more familiar with. But the highlight thing is like, okay, that's kind of lame. Like nobody wants to play a highlight video game.
But it wasn't really highlight. They just used the highlight.
But it looked
hooks.
just like that.
They also, like you said, the discs, but the most famous is the light cycles.
Yeah.
And it was in the light cycle arena during an accident where they found a way to escape the grid. Yes.
Dun dun dun.
So once they find freedom, Tron discloses that he has to reach an IO tower. IO standing for input output.
Oh, another glossary item that you failed to mention.
Another.
Yeah, because I think earlier you didn't talk about what RAM was or something.
No, RAM's a guy.
Oh yeah, but that still stands for random access memory.
Ooh,
look at me remembering what I learned in computer class in 5th grade.
Which was also Daft Punk's last album, who did the soundtrack to Tron Legacy, which is the sequel to Tron the movie.
That's right, folks. We're going to grab you a towel because we just bust some knowledge on your face.
So Tron needs to reach this IO tower so he can make contact with his user, Alan.
Alan, what a lame name. Like Bruce Boxleitner, Tron, Flynn. I'm Alan.
Alan Bradley.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so white.
And his username is Alan1.
Oh my god, how lame. I bet you his password's like 1234.
Or password 1.
Yeah, Alan.
Hi, I'm Alan. I am here to free the programs. I am the champion. I'm Alan Bradley.
I have a feeling that Alan's character was basically a insertion of the producers. It's like, all this weird stuff? No, you gotta have one normal name. One normal name.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Alan.
All right, fine.
Just one.
Alan. Literally, he went alphabetical order. Hold on. Alan.
Alan, that's the first one.
Adam, no. Everyone hates the name Adam. No one likes that.
There's
name.
way too many Adams.
Seriously. Aaron? No. The two double A's. No, Alan works.
Do they ever show Alan?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I kind of glossed over that because I don't want to go like scene by scene. But when Cindy Morgan's character meets up at Flynn in the arcade and they take him to the NCOM building, they're all three together.
Okay. Does he look like an Alan?
He looks like an Alan.
Okay.
And he talks with Dillinger because he loses his access when the MCP cuts off the access to Clue.
He forgot his password.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, would you want to meet the person that you're playing on your game? Like, that would be pretty cool, right?
That would be pretty cool.
Are we talking laser shoot Larry?
Laser Suit Larry.
Laser shoot Larry. Laser shoot Larry.
Oh, the Laser Shoot Larry from Kevin Flynn and the Little People.
All right, let's go ahead and find McPhee and Boxlighter.
Oh my God.
Laser shoot Harry.
Laser Shoot Larry.
Forget it. Never
Laser
mind.
Shooting Larry.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah.
Box Lightner.
So Tron needs to make contact with Alan so Alan can program him to give him the codes to take out the MCP. But as soon as they get to relax, they are found out and have to escape again.
Find out by who?
These recognizers, which are these cool flying things that look like T's. They've in Legacy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Those. Recognizers and tanks come after them, so they get back into the light cycles and they split up. There was this crash, and a tank almost goes over the edge, and they split up. And Flynn and Ram go one way, and Tron goes the other way. So they're messed up. And speaking of messed up, during the escape, there's an accident
on the light cycle.
And Ram gets badly injured.
He should have been wearing his seatbelt.
Seatbelts for light cycles, now available on the MCP Online.
They needed them.
Don't worry, in the sequel, it gets recycled.
Oh my God.
That's
another one.
Yeah, you're welcome, folks.
After being injured, Flynn drags him into a wrecked recognizer, and this is when Flynn...
An erect recognizer?
An erect recognizer. In a wrecked recognizer.
Oh, okay. You gotta be careful about that.
And this is when we find out Flynn has godlike powers because he is not a program, he is a user.
Like Alan.
Oh, like LeBron when he finds out that he can stretch in the game. Gotcha.
Why'd you keep bringing up LeBron?
Yeah, let's not bring up any Space Jam
Is
related.
Space Jam anything like Tron?
No.
Oh, okay. Because I'm
It's
very
in a
confused.
computer.
I don't know.
I didn't see the second one.
I didn't even see the first one.
Guys, I'll reenact it with hand puppets. It might actually be better.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh, hand puppets.
Yeah. Anyways, no. So
the bad news is we're the hand puppets.
That's not good.
Oh boy.
Oh. So.
Oh boy.
Flynn. Oh boy.
Oh boy.
That got dark very quickly.
So Flynn has these godlike powers. He can touch things and change them
into puppets.
He's able to erect the recognizer. He's able to get it to fix itself, kind of.
Okay.
And he can change his color based on touching things. Like the blue guys are the good guys,
right? And the orange guys are the bad ones.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
so when he becomes erect from the recognizer, when he can change to like purple when he's about to finish.
He might.
Are there only two colors?
Okay.
No, there are some yellow people and there are some green people.
You can't say yellow people anymore.
Yeah, as soon as you said yellow, I'm like,
I'm sorry.
Oh, please have a Coldplay
So
reference.
there's yellow.
There are programs that are colored yellow.
Okay.
And there are programs that are also colored green, but they're not really. They're like in city shots and stuff.
They would be ready non-player characters.
They would be NCPs or NPCs.
NPCs
for the MCP.
But aren't you guys proud of me for knowing a video game reference?
Don't you live with a gamer?
Yeah.
I don't pay attention to games. I don't like
Obviously
any
you
of
do.
them. No.
When her husband is in the back room playing with himself, she doesn't pay attention.
Oh, I see.
No, I learned that from my child's game.
Oh.
NPC.
You live with 2 gamers.
Oh, there you
Eh.
go. Well, me and my kid are actually playing Pong, but like with paddles.
So,
Ping pong?
I don't think you can say that anymore.
No?
I think
Yeah, you
it's
can.
just table tennis now.
It's ping pong, motherfucker.
I can't say yellow people. You can't say ping pong.
Or
They
as
play
call
ping
it-
pong.
Or as they call it in China, ping pong.
Stop that.
No, that's a quote from Balls of Fury.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's-
it was Balls of Fury. That was
Yeah.
Christopher Walken. That was a terrible Christopher Walken, but that was a terrible line.
Oh, the whole thing is terrible.
Oh, I
but
love
it's
that
great.
movie so much.
I love ping pong.
I'm going back for the Love Panda.
Panda's dead.
Love Panda's dead.
So Flynn can manipulate code, and that makes Ram a believer in the users, like a full-on believer, not like just like, oh, they're here, but like I'm looking at one right now.
Like the monkeys.
I'm a believer. If you can't see this, but I just had my hands up, like, what are you talking about?
I
And then
know.
it just like clicked.
I know.
Yeah.
And after Ram becomes a believer, like the monkeys or Shrek, he derezes, and that's a sad scene. Yes.
So he saw her face, and then he's a believer
Then he's a believer.
without a trace.
Belieber.
Doubt.
A doubt in my mind.
Yep.
So as this is going on, Tron finds himself in a city to find his, I guess, girlfriend, Yori. There was a scene cut out that kind of explains their relationship, but they don't do it in the theatrical cut.
Wait, but Yori is Cindy's character.
Yes.
Oh, okay. A lot
What
of
happens
weird
in
names.
the game stays in the game.
That's right.
Except for Alan.
And Yori is ready to help him reach the MCP. So together they head to the IO Tower to reach Alan.
Yay.
So,
Alan's like the princess waiting to be...
Question, is the IO Tower kind of like Google Pay or Apple Pay? Because IO...
Oh my God.
Oh, man.
Yep.
I hate you.
Allison's coming with the actual knowledge. I'm coming with the dad jokes. They aren't very good at all.
I'm not coming up with a knowledge. I'm asking questions.
No, you just said RAM, and you said...
Oh, that is
Yeah.
knowledge, but I thought that
And
was...
you said NPCs?
I thought that was common knowledge.
It is for us nerds.
Well, you should be proud of me, because I'm not one of those.
Well, you are now.
Unless it's for certain things.
Yeah.
A nerd for...
I don't know.
You know Ryan Reynolds' measurements, for Pete's sake.
For Pete's sake.
Speaking of, what do you think of that new movie coming to Netflix?
I'm all about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, with The Rock and Gal Gadot.
Gal Gadot.
Yes.
Yeah.
My wife just basically blew up in wife-gasms. It was great.
I mean, yeah. He's
Yeah.
just going to be his typical ass self.
Yeah.
So.
Which, he did in this last movie, which is Tron. I'm sorry, Free Guy.
Tron?
Because it's inside of a video game.
Ah.
See what I did there?
Yeah.
I'm not as good as you guys.
Can I get that in writing?
You got it on air.
Damn it.
Oh, it'll be edited.
Okay.
So they make contact with Tron at the IO Tower, and that's when he does his famous, he raises his disc into the light, and it raises up, and his disc has his identity on it, and Alan does his little computer thing and puts it on the disc to have
another man his disc.
To have him.
He shouldn't have done that.
Why?
He shouldn't have shown his identity, because that's how Alan got into the system, or no?
Well, no, Tron needed to do that. That's just a way of transferring data.
Oh, okay.
Or data, if you're correct.
Did he ask for permission before transferring his data?
He might have.
Because if it's not consensual, that's...
Yeah, I didn't consent to seeing his disc.
Ooh.
Oh, high five. Oh, that was good.
High five.
Yes.
My wife.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, boy, that was... so if I took a picture, would you be offended by the disc pic?
Ooh, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
They can't all be winners.
No, they
Just
can't.
mine.
They can't.
No, that was good.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Flynn rejoins them after Tron and Yuri hijacked this cool thing called the Solar Sailor. Solar Sailor is pretty cool. It's like the thing that Count Dooku escapes in Attack of the Clones.
Yeah. Solar Sailor isn't a cool name, though.
I think so.
Okay.
For 1982?
They left all their creativity after they named Alan. I'm sorry.
They're like, "Woof, we're done. Solar Sailor, it is." Hey.
Bob, I'm.
We're out of names. What do you got? Do you have something with an alliteration?
Solar Sailor.
Hey, Junior, come here. Yeah, Dad.
Computer concourse. No.
No, it doesn't.
Graphic glider.
No. Well, no.
Solar Sailor.
Ding, ding,
Yeah.
ding, 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 ding.
Let's go ahead and pull it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes. The kids will love it. Trust me. 30 years from now, 40 years from now, they're going to make a podcast talking about this very moment.
You know, and it almost is 40 years because it came out in 1982, and we're coming up on 2022.
Yep.
Weren't you born in 1982?
I was.
Uh-oh.
Christ.
So, during their escape, Sark's command ship finds the Solar Sailor and destroys it, capturing Flynn and Yori and presumably killing Tron.
So it sunk.
I just see the scene in my head right now with Sailor Moon's theme song in the back of my mind playing over the actual scene. It's actually a pretty interesting image, folks, if you're there.
I will not be there.
No? You're thinking of Another Man's Disc?
I am. I always have Another Man's Disc. I'm always thinking of Alan's disc.
Oh my gosh.
Yipes.
Yeah. I got disc envy, not gonna lie.
So Sark takes a shuttle and leaves his command ship with Flynn and Yuri on board and orders it to be destroyed. And it starts fading away. It's got this cool like type thing that's going on, and it's just de-rezzing.
Does it sound like we're on the Matterhorn and we're about to go down?
I don't know. I've never been to Disneyland.
Me either. Tell us more.
But what does it sound like for you to go down?
Oh, usually it's a lot of moaning and a little bit of adjusting.
Moaning like
heavy breathing, like guys,
donkey.
If that,
boy,
no wonder Disneyland's been closed. Matterhorn sounds horrible.
Matterhorn sounds like some bear porn going on. Wee!
That's like the Country Bear Jamboree.
Yeah, it is.
Oh boy, that just takes us to another level.
Oh, I've seen that movie, The Country Bear Jamboree. You got a pretty mouth.
It actually wasn't that bad.
Oh, there was a movie, wasn't there?
There was a movie.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I remember a good-looking guy posting that on our Facebook page, talking about Country Bear Jamboree one time.
I don't know who that could be.
Good-looking guy, 6'2", debonair smile.
Alan.
Yuri.
So
Tron.
Ram. Alan.
Yori.
Seriously,
Right?
we're going to go with Alan.
Yori.
Okay. I don't know why you're looking at me like I just, called her something goofy.
Go
like
ride the
Yogi.
solar cycle.
Yori.
The solar cycle's better than Sailor.
It is.
But there's too many cycles. There's light cycles. There's the day and night cycle.
There's
their
Yori's cycle.
Yori's monthly
Yeah.
cycle.
Yeah. She's the only girl in this movie.
Well,
She is the only girl in this movie.
if it was on water, they could call it the semen train.
Oh, choo-choo.
Why a train? It should be alliteration.
No.
Trains
Just because.
don't go over water. Well, they do, but...
Well, guys, think about it for a second.
I'm thinking. I don't get it.
Well, here, get it a little bit lower, and I'm sure you'll get it.
Oh, a train.
Oh.
That's not nice.
I'll make a movie. It'll be a coming attraction.
Nice. That's
Anyways.
dirty.
I don't like it.
So using his powers,
Yes.
Flynn keeps the capital or the command ship, quote unquote, alive until they can reach the IO tower to make their final confrontation with Sark and the MCP cone.
The cone.
Yes, and
Now
we'll get
there's
it.
a cone.
We'll get into that.
Oh.
When they reach them, wow. The MCP is attempting to absorb captive programs. Tron, who turns out to have survived, confronts Sark and critically injures him, which I'll talk about later because it's pretty damn cool. He critically injures him, prompting the MCP to give him all of his functions, and he grows like really tall, like Godzilla kaiju tall. Realizing that his ability to manipulate the mainframe might give Tron an opening, Flynn leaps into the beam of the master control program, which is now a cone. It's the spinning light thing, and they explained it that it was spinning so fast that, you know how when sometimes you look at it, like you look at a spinning wheel, and sometimes if it's going fast enough, it looks like it's not moving.
Yeah,
it's how it works. His face is spinning around, and then it kind of like measures up, and it's just this animated face, like Moses in South Park. That was the MCP cone. You don't remember that during the Jubilee?
No, I remember. I'm just letting you hang yourself on this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can actually summon it in the fractured but whole.
Oh.
Yes, which is a
video
South
game.
Park game. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
He jumps into the MCP cone, turning it from red to blue. Huh?
Because he's blue.
That's right, and he can manipulate. He can manipulate things.
That's right.
Oh, la-di-dee, la-di-da.
So he distracts the MCP. It takes his defenses down, which is like this weird force field shield, and Tron throws his disc with this perfect velocity, and it destroys the MCP, and because it's got the code on it, and it frees all the programs from the mainframe.
So one look at a man's disc brought down your fences.
That's right, Tron's magnificent disc.
Oh man, Boxlight has a lot to do.
Man, I now want to create just something just so I can call it Tron's magnificent disc. Man, all right.
You just made someone money on a T-shirt.
Right.
They're going to listen to a podcast in Florida going, that's a great idea.
So after Tron
This
frees
is your cousin Marvin?
Cousin Marvin.
After Tron frees everything, the whole world lights up because the world is free again, and all these new programs come back, and it's all happy, and it's very, it's a Disney ending because it's a Disney movie.
Good disc can do that.
A good disc can light up a room.
It really can. It can fulfill you.
And Flynn gets lasered back into reality, and as soon as he's there, he gets this random printout that shows that he owns all these programs. And then Dillinger's kicked out, and Flynn ends up owning the company of Encom, and they all hug.
Did it come out like a fax in Back to the Future 2?
It came out like a dot matrix printer, like in 1982.
I wanted to come out like the fax and that said, "You're fired," but it said, "You own all of this."
Does he sound like Cookie Monster?
I don't know.
You own all of these.
Well, that just sounded Asian.
That sounded Asian. Oh, a little cable guy for you.
Oh boy.
So that was that was basically Tron in a nutshell.
With a disc.
With Tron's magnificent disc.
Disc Flash.
I'm going to make new DVD covers now. I'm just going to call it Tron's magnificent disc.
Why do we think it was called Tron when Tron wasn't the main character? Flynn was, because Flynn doesn't sound as cool as Tron.
That and Tron was the
hero.
Yeah, Tron is the hero. If it wasn't for him, the MCP would have taken over the world, basically.
Well, because if they would have called it Tron, it would be a different film.
Oh
man.
I was trying to keep a straight face on that one, folks. Sorry.
Well, no one can see your face, so it doesn't matter.
Before we get into our personal touches, we had a special guest. I wanted to bring on Shane from Rerez.
Ooh.
He is a YouTuber. He makes really funny and informative videos about video gaming stuff. And he really wanted to talk Tron with me, so here it is. Greetings, programs. I am here, Adam, talking with Shane from Rerez. How you doing, Shane?
I'm doing really good.
Good. I'm glad. Rerez is a channel that I discovered while in quarantine. It's only been about a year and a half that I've discovered your stuff, and I flew through your stuff like crazy. You basically kept me sane throughout quarantine, throughout being locked down.
Well, I'm glad somebody was being kept sane by my insanity, but hey, that's good.
Yes. Even the very insane videos you did about the Soldier Boy stuff and the wireless systems, those were fantastic videos.
Yeah, those were a lot of fun to make.
And it's funny because I do a lot of like pay attention to like I just want to focus on the positive stuff, and your stuff is just fantastic, even when you're talking negative about things, because you want things to be good. When I watch your videos, you're just like you try so hard to look for the positives in everything, and that's really cool. You have almost 300,000 subscribers. That's ridiculous. We have 36, just 36, not 36,000. We have 36 subscribers. How does that make you feel? Does that put pressure on you?
I gotta be honest, I don't really think about it all that much. I never look at the numbers of subscribers. I'm always looking at the responses to videos, because the videos and how people are enjoying them, that's what's always been important. When I first started off Rerez a while back, I couldn't get close friends and family to subscribe to it. Like it was the insane thing you were doing in your basement, right? Like no one really thought that was going to be a big deal or care about it. But yeah, it changed as time went on and it became something completely different. But yeah, for me, it's the first 100,000 was a big deal because they sent you the plaque. That was a big deal. But after that, it's not something I've been totally focusing on, because as far as I was concerned, I'm never going to hit 1 million. So I was like, whatever, I'll just be the guy that's above 100,000. Cool. And everything since then has just been gravy.
Have you made this like your job, or I mean,
oh yeah,
are you monetized enough where you can make a living?
Yeah,
on Rerez.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, it did not, like, it was the first couple of years was not that. I had other jobs that I was working. I had worked for other YouTubers. I had worked at studios and a whole bunch of different jobs. One or two in the game industry, because I really wanted to understand what game industry jobs were like. Because I was talking about it on YouTube. I was like, but I really didn't work in it. So maybe I should work in it for like at least a little bit. And I did. So I got some experience there to kind of understand what that was like. And yeah, it became more of a full-time thing about the time we moved into a studio, and it became an actual job where I wasn't going anywhere else. I wasn't doing a side gig anywhere. It was Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 5, go to work. Well, 9 a.m. as best I can wake up. And yeah, just work at the studio producing videos. But yeah, it's been the full-time gig for a bit now.
That's awesome. And are you doing it alone? Do you have a team now? Did you start alone? You said you did it in your basement.
Yeah, originally, like most YouTubers, I started alone, and it was just me trying to make videos about stuff I thought was very interesting that other people hadn't really been doing before or covering. And I had worked with a bunch of different people, from cinematographers to video editors and stuff like that, trying to incorporate other people. But it didn't really come into a workable place until we got the studio. And now we work with a team of 4, including myself, and all of us are editing, writing, recording videos, and just making a whole bunch of stuff work together.
If you reach that 1 million followers and you become a worldwide sensation, and they make a biopic about Rerez, who do you want to play Shane?
Boy, I don't know. A lot of people like to say I look like Fred Savage. so maybe Fred Savage. I don't know. There was
a legit spit take, by the way.
I'm so glad that happened. There was 2 people. The early days Rerez, this happened a lot. Every week, people would say I looked like 2 male celebrities had a kid, and it was Christian Slater and Fred Savage. If they merged together and created a hybrid, it would be me. And it happened a lot every week. So I'm like, okay, people are either talking to each other or there clearly is a thing. And I was like, I don't know. Well, have I ever seen a Christian Slater? So I sat there and I watched Alone in the Dark, regretted that. And then I decided, you know what, maybe I should watch something else with Fred Savage. So I watched Monsters Under Your Bed. I forget the name.
Little Monsters. Yeah.
Little Monsters. So I'm like, yeah, okay, I get it. They just think I look weird, and that's really what it was. So that happened for a while. But yeah, it was. I don't know if somebody were to play me in a movie, I would hope that it would be somebody that conveys knowledge of video games well enough. That pretty much would be it. But I think the movie would just be somebody sitting at a desk the whole time, not talking to anyone of interest, and just sitting there and just grumbling to himself while like the save state doesn't work on a bad game.
This episode, we are talking all about the 1982 Disney live-action movie Tron, and this was Shane's idea. He wanted to talk about Tron. What made you decide, hey, I want to talk my face off about this movie?
I'm not near it right now, but I'm a huge fan of Tron, and I know that maybe there's some people out there that really like Tron a lot. When they did Tron Legacy, there was a viral game where when the movie was coming out, you could like join in and stuff. And I got to see the trailer early at a theater. I got all the merch and stuff sent to me. This isn't a part of Rerez. This is like this is before all that. So nobody knew who I was. And there was this one game where you had to pick. It was like a big picture, and you had to pick every single picture. Or every single item from the picture and reference and actually name what it's supposed to be. So it'd be this big, gigantic 6 colored all the shades of rainbow. It's Rainbow 6. You see a little fox in space, Star Fox. So I actually named all the games in it, and they actually sent me a huge poster that was marked and numbered and everything.
Oh, that's awesome.
I have a Flynn Lives shirt. I think it's a little bit ruined now, but I still have that. So Tron was a big deal to me. I loved the first movie. I remember my dad took me to the rental store, and I got it, like I rented on VHS, and he was like, hey, you like games? I remember this movie came out, and it's about video games. So he rented Tron and War Games same night, and I'd never seen either. And that was a big night for me. And I remember that being like a really amazing time. And I think I kept asking to watch Tron over and over and over again after that too. The visuals of the film are unlike anything else. And I mean, there was a lot of really interesting visual movies being created in the 80s and the 70s and the 90s. Oh yeah. But Tron stood out for such a long time. Every individual frame looks different. And I know, like, typically when people look at the film now, they probably think, oh yeah, everything there's CG. It's not all CG. There is a bit of CG, but the majority of the film is hand-drawn assets. And and like it's not rotoscoped, but it's like that thing where they inverted the frames and got everybody like to glow, and that glowing look looked so cool. It's one of those movies where very few films, I'd say this, if you watch Tron on a really good screen, and like a screen that has really inky dark blacks, when the bright scenes come out, it almost glows out of the screen. There's like nothing else like that. Tron still stands out that way. Just seeing the light cycle sequence in the movie is like iconic. It's probably one of the biggest scenes in the film. Like everybody always looks at that. I think Family Guy made fun of it at one point. Like everybody looks at that scene. That scene has so much going into it, stuff we don't even consider, because like nowadays, if you were to like render out a sequence or whatever, it's a lot easier to do. But at that time period, they were animating 3D models with a program that doesn't animate. Like that's just a thing. They just figured out a way. And then they found a way to blend everything together and knew how every single shot would blend together and merge so it looks effortless, the entire sequence. And it's way more complicated than I think almost any scene from like Star Wars would be. And for that time period, it's remarkable. And I think that's why I like it so much, because it's a movie that should suck. It should suck from beginning to end. It should be a terrible movie that has poor graphics, poor representation, just everything about it, just bad. But it doesn't suck. It's the wonderful little thing where it's the movie that's so complicated in its creation, but it comes together. It makes sense. It's fun. There's heroes, there's villains, there's just a whole bunch of things going on. And in very few films make you feel like you're seeing a completely unique world that you've never seen before. Because every other film, I don't want to say every film in the 80s, but there's a lot of them that take place in space, you know, or you know, in the woods or fantasy or whatever. There's like some concept like that. But Tron was like one of the first where it's like, okay, We're going inside of a computer. It's not going to look like speckles of stardust and star fields everywhere and just bright, like, pieces of electricity floating through the sky. It literally was a completely different visual world than anything we'd ever seen on film. And I think the only other film that's ever gotten close to it since really has been Tron Legacy.
Every time I'd go to the arcade, I would look for the discs of Tron because I'm like, that's the one nobody has. That's the one I really want to play. And
yeah,
go ahead.
I like the Tron arcade game. I do. The one you're running in the background where you fight against the MCP eventually. I love that game. But discs of Tron, that's the way you control that game. I've tried to convey to my friends that haven't played it in arcades. It's like you've got a little disc that you spin to aim, and then you've got your joystick to like move your character around. It was basically double stick control almost. You know what I mean? Like it's not the exact same thing, but you don't. To try and play that at home when you're using like an Xbox 360 controller or whatever, right? Yeah, I've got one of those always nearby. And it's like when you do that, you almost have a similar style of control. That's right. It's not the same as what you get in arcades. Whenever I see a Tron game in arcade, I need to go play it. I just have to, because I need to like reinvest my time into it, reconnect with it. Arcade games at the time had so many different kinds of kind of visual identities or like control schemes that were so unique because they didn't know what worked yet.
Yeah.
Like a dial just shouldn't be used for that, but it works really, really well. And I think Discs of Tron is probably, if I had to pick a movie to video game, it's probably one of the best movie to video games of its time period because it misses nothing from what you got in the movie. Like it almost feels one-to-one the exact same thing. And I think the only time we got something very similar to that, that it almost felt like it's just a section of the movie brought into the video game world was with Tron 2.0, where they were kind of doing the exact same idea there too.
Do you think Tron has been treated unfairly by Disney? Their marketing was like almost nothing with Legacy, and they didn't even care about the TV show, the Uprising on Disney XE.
Uprising, it just no. Uprising. I mean, if they didn't care about Tron Legacy, they did not care about Legacy even less. I mean, sorry, not Legacy. Uprising. Uprising had some neat ideas going into it. I only caught the first couple of episodes because it was so hard to watch here. We didn't have, I think it was Disney XL or
XD. Yeah.
XD, XL. There you go. See, I don't even know what that is. It was so hard. Uprising had some neat ideas to it. It seemed interesting enough. But one thing I didn't like about it was I thought they should have made a show that continued on where Legacy left off. But instead what they did was they made a show that takes place with a character who I don't think people care enough about because it's just a character. It's in between the two things, right?
Yeah.
It's got to be either about Kevin Flynn or it's got to be about Tron. You can't have it be about the guy that Tron meets up with at some point that's going to be trained to be the next Tron. Like it doesn't really, there's no kids that would know what that is. It's like when you go to watch a TV show movie that Disney was doing from their other animated films. Aladdin had a TV series. What was Aladdin like? Well, it focused on Aladdin. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's the whole point. So to see some of the main characters from the Tron movie not continue on in either direction was just weird to me. I did appreciate that they tried something, but when I saw Legacy, I really like Legacy. I know that there are people out there that tend not to like Legacy as much as the first movie. I think they really dislike not Kevin Flynn's character, but
Clue.
Clue. They tend to dislike Clue. I watched the trailer for that original movie again and again and again. Then when I saw it in theaters, it was a different Clue. Go watch the original trailer and then watch the movie, and they are completely different models. And I thought the one in the trailer looked better than the one that they used in the film. I don't know why they changed it. I think somebody might have complained at some point. I mean, that looks bad. Oh, we can fix it. And they tried to fix it. Like, no, go back. Like you did it wrong. And I think that's what I think happened at that point. I do believe that there's a lot of people that couldn't remove themselves from the digital effects that they were doing, because this was early days. We now have Marvel movies that are tossed out that have like young characters in it every 2 seconds. It's ridiculous. But at that point in time, there really wasn't anyone doing that kind of work to that extent.
Right.
So what they were trying was so revolutionary at the time. And I think people just focused on that a bit too much. And it will always confuse me because Clue is a digital entity. He didn't have to look realistic. He just had to look kind of like Kevin Flynn, but they went for the whole realism thing, which pushed some people away. It was so confusing to me with that.
Yeah, and that seems to be the curse of Tron, is they try to do the most revolutionary things that they can, and it just doesn't get there for the audiences.
Yeah. I think the next one's probably going to have like smell-o-vision, and then it's just going to be like, well, we got the smell to work, but all we could find was dog crap. So enjoy that for 2 hours, and then the next film's going to come out. I was like, well, we're going to try blueberry. Let's see if that works a little bit more. So I don't know. It's true. Each film tried to do something revolutionary and really different. And it felt like they don't get the credit they deserve for what they were attempting to do at the time period. It really does suck.
You mentioned Tron 2.0. I remember standing in line for that. I was in a line for something else. Like it was a big release. And then there was like, no, Tron 2.0 is coming out too. I'm like, I'm in line for this. It was like another Halo game or something. I don't know when it was coming out. But I'm just like, I'm in line for the Tron game, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought it was a cool idea to make it a first-person game. I think Tron has been better represented in video games than it has in movies.
Tron 2.0 head above. It's the best one. Like it's the best, and I like the arcade games. I'm not saying I don't, but Tron 2.0 takes what those things are and try to do something completely something that you would never see in the past, which was make a sequel to the movie. And I guess for those of you that never watched it or played it, Tron 2.0 is literally a sequel to the first movie that it's not the same story as the new film. So Tron 2.0 feels like, okay, I'm a fan of this movie. Where do I go from there? Because at that point in time, there was never going to be a sequel to Tron. Nobody was going to make that thing. So a video game sequel to a movie that not that many people remembered was insane, but they did it. And the care and attention to detail, the narrative is a really cool narrative. The characters are very interesting. One thing I really liked about Tron 2.0 was that it has stupidly good multiplayer. It has no reason to have multiplayer that good. There's the light cycle sequences, which I think are still very fun to play because they took what light cycles were in the arcade original game, or even in what's in the movie, and they included power-ups and abilities, different kinds of maps, and it was really addicting and fun to play. But then what they did in 2.0 was they also added not lightsaber battles, but battles with the discs, the data discs.
Yeah,
so they had data disc battles, which felt really fun. And this is the weird thing about Tron 2.0, and I swear, a community has to be built from this again. Tron 2.0 had a version that was released on Xbox that came out after Tron 2.0 did on PC. The Xbox version is called, I believe, Tron 2.0 Killer App.
Yes.
And there was some extra content on it. So some fans took the extra content from the Xbox version and they made a fan patch for Tron 2.0 on PC. So now you've got the widescreen version, all the maps from the Xbox version, all this bunch of different stuff. And they put like a lot of effort. There's a community out there that just loves this game. And for a while, I remember playing the game online with the data disc arenas, because there's an arena you go to. And the best part about this arena was you were forced to watch other people play, but not in a way that you'd see this typically on first-person shooters or anything like that, where you got a free-moving camera. You can go wherever you want to go while other two people are playing. But in this one, your character loads up into a waiting room, and you walk around the waiting room and look into different arenas and watch other players actually playing. and you're seeing what their techniques are, and you're learning from that and going, okay, I know that person's going to do that. And then you get instantly spawned down to that arena, and then you fight. And it was this leaderboard. And instead of pushing tab or F1 on your keyboard, you just looked at the leaderboard because it was up there. It's an arena. It's an actual game arena. And I thought that was so great. Everything about that just felt cohesive and fun. And I loved what 2.0 was trying to do. But again, it's a movie video game sequel to a movie that very few people remember in the first place at the time period. And a lot of younger people at the time when that game came out simply were not aware of what Tron was. So it was a sequel called Tron 2.0 to a video game that never had a prequel. So you see that and you're like, man, I should play the first Tron before I play 2.0. And of course, they're never going to. So it created a weird feel there. But Monolith did a fantastic job with the game. They were coming off high from No One Lives Forever. So it was just really great to see what they had done. I think it's one of the greatest, most underserved video games of all time, much like the first movie. So it's one of those things where it really is. It's the curse of Tron. They do so many revolutionary, interesting things. Can't bring it back.
Well, it's been awesome to talk to you about Tron. It's been awesome to talk to you. I've been trying to get a lot of my favorite YouTubers on for a while, and I can cross you off my list, or you can come back anytime and we could talk about other things. We could talk about Buckaroo Banzai. I just love to talk movies, especially movies from the 80s. I kind of like to talk horror, but it's not for everybody.
I do like some films from the time period, but it's just I've never watched enough of them. Buckaroo Banzai I did watch. We did a video on the new one, and it was like the most obscure console ever, I think is what I called it, because I needed something. No one's going to click on a video called New One. So in that video, we were looking at all the DVDs that were released for the New One, like specific New One enhanced DVDs, and one of them was Buckaroo Banzai. I think I made a passing line where I said, who's going to buy a New One to watch Buckaroo Banzai? I'd never seen Buckaroo Banzai. The one line from any video I've ever regretted more is that line, because every Buckaroo Banzai fan, what do they call the fans in the movie? Because
the Hong Kong Cavaliers,
the
Blue Blazers. That was it.
The Blue Blazers. Every Blue Blazer came out from the wet works, and you're just like, oh yeah, what's wrong with you? That's a fantastic movie. It's like, I've never seen it. So I sat down, I watched it, fell in love with it. Yeah, of course. It's a great movie, but I didn't know it at the time. So it was just one of those things where it happened. And it was just insane to me that so many people love this film, which, you know what? Buckaroo Banzai is the Tron 2.0 of the movie world, because it legitimately is a sequel to a movie that doesn't have a prequel. That's one of those things.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure. And have a great night, and have I'm glad you're getting back into your studio soon.
I'm very happy to be back, and I hope to be making a lot more videos really, really soon.
Well, it was great to have you. So have a good night, and end of line.
He's very personable. He had a lot to say. You could tell he talked more about the video game, which obviously that's what he should do, because that's what he does on his YouTube channel. And I've never played the video game, so...
You've never played the Tron video game?
No.
Not even as a child?
No.
You didn't get taken to the arcade as a child?
Oh, no. No, I was a girly girl. I didn't go to the arcade. I'm sorry. So, I mean, I liked listening to it. He had some negative things to say about the movie.
Mm-hmm. It's not a perfect film by any chance.
No, not at all. But, no, I mean...
one of my favorite quotes in the documentary In Search of Darkness was about I can't even remember the name of the movie they were talking about. It was a bad movie, and he said, if I can accept the fact that this movie has its flaws and still enjoy the movie, then I'm vindicated in watching it. And that's how I felt. That's how I feel with most of these movies that are not. They're not 100%, but I love them. Like Tron. How about you, Rowan? How'd you like the interview?
I thought it was very compelling. I thought it was very enjoyable. Just the deep cuts into the video game were very awe-inspiring and very captivating. His takes on Tron 2.0 were very insightful, and in terms of the deep cuts that were part of the film, like the not the secondary character, but third character, essentially.
Tertiary?
Dude, I'm having trouble with Key.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly. Just do a whole...
Can't say tertiary, but you can... Or Keegan-Michael Key. That's true.
Yeah, there's about 70 names I can't say.
At least.
Yeah, exactly. I can't even say my own name. I'm the only guy that actually get pulled over for DUI for drinking water. Okay? Seriously.
It makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, so... But his takes on 2.0 and how it is relative to the Tron movie were very interesting and made me have a deeper appreciation for Tron itself. For the record, I admire your love for Tron, and I admire Shane's love for Tron. And Shane, thank you so very much for joining the program, by the way. You're awesome. You really are. And we look forward to having you on, maybe when we're talking about Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Perhaps.
Hell yeah.
You know, we can't stop here. It's backcountry. But it made me appreciate the film some.
Yeah, I mean, you could tell you guys both really liked it. Him, he really likes it. Him. Yeah.
Guys, if you could have seen Adam during the interview, it was a love fest. It was awkward. If you've ever seen The Land of the Lost, where the two Salike tacos or whatever, chorizo tacos.
You mean the slee stack?
Yeah. Chorizo tacos, don't mess with me. I'm so hungry right now. But the slee stacks, when they mated and they took out their skin,
those stupid chalupas.
Yeah, when they took out their skins, that was basically Adam and Shane when they were talking about Tron. They shed their skin, and then it was just a lot of awkwardness.
It was
really awkward.
It was not as awkward as it could have been.
It was awkward enough.
So, based on your assessment of the interview, I'm going to say you're not a fan of Tron?
I liked the movie The Interview. I thought it was very good with Seth Rogen. Yeah, I just big leagued you. You saw what I did? I took a question, I took it to a strong
that was
point.
Good.
Yeah, you're welcome.
We call that in the improv, and we call that yes and in the improv industry.
Yeah.
You gotta work off your partner.
Oh God!
I said work off.
Oh! Sorry, I apologize. Wrong vowel insertion.
Right.
Anyways, but no. Based on the interview, based on everything, no. I really appreciate how much you appreciate the film.
Okay, so you don't like the movie?
No.
Okay, Allison.
I haven't seen this movie in a really long time. No, I mean, it's okay. It's not one of my favorites. I remember seeing it when I was little.
We used to watch it a lot in elementary school.
I must have fallen asleep or read something else. I don't remember that. They let us watch that in a Christian school?
Yeah, it was. In fact, I used to rent it a lot from the Christian bookstore.
What period did they let us watch that in?
3rd grade.
It's not technically blasphemy. I mean, there's nothing.
He says "damn" twice.
It must have been in the other 3rd grade class. I really don't remember. I remember watching it. I think I remember watching it on beta at home.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah, and I didn't like it. It wasn't for me. It actually kind of scared me. The thought of being in such a dark, creepy, like circuit board type thing. I didn't like that. It looked fake to me. I couldn't appreciate, as a young girl who doesn't play video games, I couldn't appreciate that was like the inside of a video game. Like it looked awkward to me. It looked fake.
How do you feel now?
It was ahead of its time. I think that they did their best on what they could in 1982. And after listening to you talk about, the costume design and all the obstacles they had, I totally get it. I think I keep comparing it to the reboot or remake.
The sequel.
Sequel. Oh yeah, it was a sequel. Yeah.
Was it?
It was.
It was because it was Flynn's son. Mm-hmm. So it was a sequel.
And it was to stop Clue.
Right. So I think I compare it a lot to that. But, it's not a movie that I'm going to watch over and over again, but I definitely appreciate it for what it is, and I understand why people like it so much. It was definitely ahead of its time, I think.
Okay. And with that, we will continue on with the making of Tron next time. So make sure you join us for the second half of our deep dive into the 1982 classic Tron. Classic in my opinion. Obviously not their opinion. Make sure to follow us on our social media, www.cinemadnesspodcast.com. It'll take you to all of our shows, all of our social media connections, and we'll see you next time.